Hola amigos! It's been a long time, I know. I'm so sorry that I didn't stick to my promise of uploading a new video every week. I really thought I could manage that. And yeah, my daughter started spending more time awake. I worked a lot. I took some online courses. I started a business. So I had a lot going on, and yeah, it's been a little bit crazy. And now we're expecting our second baby, which is due in 8 weeks. Super excited about that. And so yeah, I haven't had so much time, but I'm here now, and I want to share with you guys this video on how I made a cute little Montessori kitchen for our daughter that she loves. And if you're not familiar with the Montessori approach, I'm gonna share a few suggestions and recommendations that I got from this book, The Montessori Toddler, after showing you guys the kitchen. So stick around for that. I feel like it's really useful information, and I find myself referencing this book a lot and going back to it time after time. So I'll start with this quote that I really love. It says, "As a gardener, we plant seeds, provide the right conditions, and give enough food, water, and light. We observe the seeds and adjust our care if needed, and we let them grow. This is how we can parent our children too. The direction their lives take will be of their own making." I love that. So I did a little bit of navigating on Pinterest, and I came across this kitchen which I really adored. And this was pretty much my inspiration for our kitchen. I bought the same IKEA kitchen like in that reference, and I assembled it with my daughter, which I don't really recommend because it's gonna not only take you forever, but it's kind of dangerous. And the first thing that I did was I attached a piece of string to a pencil and made like a homemade compass out of it. Leaving my left hand fixed in that center point of where I wanted the arch to be, I drew like a half circle around it, and I kind of eyeballed it. And so using that same middle point, I drew some lines down the sides, and I used a level to make sure that they would be straight. And then I went ahead and taped it. And this is the hardest part, just trying to get that line as straight as possible. If you're a perfectionist, this might not be the job for you, but just remember that they're going to love it no matter what, and it doesn't really need to be perfect. I ended up doing 3 coats of this paint. And then I replaced the stovetop with a wooden cutting board like in the reference. But now I actually leave the stovetop on because my daughter likes to use it to play as well. And I bought this on Amazon. I think it's called a chair wicker. And I cut a piece just slightly bigger than that glass window on the left side. You might remember these hooks from my last video. I also added them to this, and it comes in handy for kitchen towels and to wipe up any spills. And this was a final result. I was really happy with it. I added some decorations to the wall, some plants, well, one plant, and some frames with some dried flowers. I thought it came out really nice. And I also keep some fruits and snacks in the kitchen for her, and I think it's really cute to see her go there whenever she gets hungry. I hope you guys liked the kitchen. I had a lot of fun making it, and I think if you're watching this video, you're really going to enjoy the process too. And so now let's very quickly talk about a little bit about Montessori. So again, I'm going to reference this book because it's just way too good. And so what does it mean to set up our homes in a Montessori way? It means making it more accessible for them to take on tasks with eagerness, capability, and delight. So some examples can be teaching them where to throw out the trash, having them help us make the food. And so with the Montessori approach, they learn to become more independent at an early age. And it's not so that they can grow up faster, it's because they actually love it and they want to be able to do more and to contribute. So you don't need to have this perfect home or have everything child-sized so that, they can do the Montessori thing. It's just about being intentional with how you set up your home. So you can have a space in each area of the house that they can enjoy and feel comfortable in. And there's so many examples on how to do this on the internet. So we have a very large shelf in our apartment, and the bottom shelves are all like for her books and her little toys and things like that. That's something that's very Montessori to do. In our entrance, we have the place where my husband and I hang our coats, but we have low hooks for her to put her coat. And when she gets home from the daycare, she knows she takes off her coat and she puts her coat there. We also have a miniature broom for her. She loves to copy me. It's the cutest thing ever. So yeah, it's something like having her sweep the floor with me is a Montessori thing to do. We have a small sink in the bathroom where she washes her hands. We have a floor bed so she can get in and out of the bed whenever she wants. And one thing that I can really recommend you guys is the Montessori Learning Tower. This, I think, is like my favorite purchase from all the things that I've bought. We've used it now for a very long time, and so pretty much she watches me cook and clean the kitchen and she doesn't get bored. So it's the best thing because it's sometimes hard to do your household duties and then attend to your child. So this is like the easiest thing to do. She's very much entertained. She loves to watch mommy cooking and cleaning and things like that. And so this has been like worth every penny. And as I'm chopping the vegetables, I give her little bits and pieces of food and she loves it. And so Montessori normally uses natural materials like wood, but this doesn't mean that you need to spend a fortune. You can also get old jars and wallets with different kinds of openings. This is something that my daughter really loves to do. And you can find wooden toys secondhand. They last a lifetime. So don't throw out your plastic toys if you still have them. And they seem to really love the things that we use, adult things that we use on a day-to-day basis, more than their own toys. So you don't need to buy a whole bunch of Montessori toys now. And I also think that investing in experiences is actually better than toys, you know? So in the book, she gives examples like go outside and collect things like leaves and shells and make outdoor art, do a treasure hunt with pictures, trying to find all the objects and things like that. You can get them involved in the supermarket. You can cut out pictures from like a magazine or something and make a visual shopping list and have them cross out the things as you get them. You can have them get the things from the shelf or put them on the conveyor belt. One example that they gave in the book that we do every night is to do a visual nighttime routine list. So our daughter loves to give us a hard time during bedtime, so this has been like a really useful tool. Here we have a picture of a cartoon getting a bath, brushing the teeth, getting a diaper, pajamas, reading a book, and then finally the bedtime. So sometimes if she's getting really difficult, I go and I say to her, look, we just did your pajamas. Now it's time to read a book. And I feel like it helps her cooperate with us much better. My favorite tips though from the book are to model. So they learn a lot from observing. They will pick things up for themselves if they always watch us do it. Things like putting our dirty clothes in the hamper. My daughter's doing that on her own. I never taught her to do that. So it's just, you know, being mindful of things like that. You can sit on the floor and see what it looks like from their perspective. You can put artwork on the wall and plants that are low enough for them to look at, and maybe they can even look after them. Giving them tactile learning experiences. So having them hold an apple as we name it, teaching math with actual objects. So my daughter's still too young for this, but I hope to do that. You know, instead of the abstract way of on a piece of paper, you have them do it with actual objects. And one of my favorite points in the book is to say yes instead of no. So we find ourselves saying, no, don't do this, don't do that. And they gradually learn to ignore it. So it's best to reserve a no when safety is concerned. And it takes time to break this habit, but it really works. And it's something that I'm using every day. So I used to say, no, don't touch this. No, don't do that. But when you say, yes, you can play with that after you finish your dinner. Or my daughter loves to, she always wants to have these outdoor boots on in the house. And so instead of me saying, no, you can't wear those boots, they're dirty, I say, yes, you can wear the boots when we go to the playground or when we go outside and things like that. And I feel like that's something super nice, you know, instead of saying, no, 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 say yes. And so I'll end the video with these 2 points that I thought were really interesting. So she talks about sensitive periods, and it's when your child is showing a particular interest in an area. So this describes a moment when the child is particularly attuned to learning a certain skill or a concept, and it happens with ease and without much effort. So we watch for signs that they're in a sensitive period, and we provide them with activities to encourage those interests. So if your child is watching you how you move your mouth and is babbling and repeating everything that you say, it's a nice chance to use rich language, name everything with its proper name, read books, have conversations with them, and then also pausing when you're speaking to allow them to react. And then the second thing that I thought was really interesting was the unconscious absorbent mind. So she points out that children are like sponges, and a sponge can absorb dirty water like they can clean water. So they can pick up negative experiences as easily as positive ones. And so when we're showing feelings and attitudes of like a fixed mindset, like we're bad at drawing, or we're not good at this, you know, you're not showing a growth mindset where you can show them that you can always keep improving your skills. So I know I've spoken a lot about Montessori, but basically the principles are: follow the child, let them lead, encourage hands-on learning, let them explore, include the child in daily life, go slow, let them set their own pace, help them help themselves, let them be independent and responsible, encourage creativity, let them observe and wonder, and observe them, let them show us. The book is by Simone Davies. I find myself referring to it all the time. There's tons of ideas on what to do with your toddler, so it's definitely worth having a look. And thank you guys for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at Monique, that's MONIC. I'm much more active on there than on YouTube. Staying active on more than one platform for me right now is really difficult, on top of my mom duties and all the other things that I'm doing. So I will upload videos on here when I can, when I feel like I have something to share that you guys might be interested in. And thank you guys for the support on my first ever YouTube video on how to make a simple shared nursery. If you haven't seen it yet, you can head to my channel. So thank you guys for watching. You can subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. And if you have any ideas, or if you're curious to see how we do a few things at home and you want me to do a video on it, I would be more than glad to do that. So feel free to comment on anything that you're particularly interested in. So take care and see you soon.